So what I got is just a simple animation with bones, and as you can see, this is the correct animation type. So if I export this into the game and go to the game, you'll see it doing the same thing like it's supposed to do. It doesn't deform anything. Um, Now this was made in Blender, so um, let's go back to here. Now at frame 0, I'm going to move the mesh, and the last frame 500, I'm going to say move the mesh, which that clearly deforms the object. So I'm starting to wonder if the deforming has to do with the bones not moving with the mesh. See, we'll export this and we'll clearly see in the game that it is definitely deforming. And in fact, it's deforming in ways that possibly are worse than what they were in Blender, or similar. It's hard to tell. Let's look at it again in here. Now it's definitely distorting and bending and warping beyond what it's just doing here. See that part where it's underground? They didn't do that in Blender, but you just see it's off. It's off. So I wonder, well, maybe the origin. Set the origin to. Let's just try something different. Let's select everything, and let's set origin to geometry. Apply all transforms. Now export. Now, if you notice, this is still moving, but that movement didn't transfer into the game. So that, I think, has to be where you bake the action. Now here you say, do you want to bake the pose or do you want to bake the object? Well, if I say bake the object, it should that was the object's animation where I told that object to move. So let's export it and look at what it did. Alright, so that data didn't transfer. Baking the object's movement from point A to point B did not work. So let's try to bake the, where's it at? Damn it. Let's bake as pose. Now I realize we lost our animation data. And we still didn't get any movement. I think I got to undo history to get back to where we were. Alright, let's do this. Now, you know if a bone moves, from point A to point B. Then the structure is supposed to move also. So what do we get? We get taffy. We get taffy. It's not matching that. It's twisting beyond that. So let us try to set the origin to the 3D cursor plowel transforms. I'm going to do all the set origins, try and see all three, see if any of them make a difference. Alright, well, what do we see? We see the animation is correct, the mesh is moving, and it is not taffy. So, with that deep dive, I believe this might be the solution to at least this problem with this worm. Maybe similar things have to be done with other meshes that have the stretching problem. Now, I guess I could probably use Make Human 2.0 to make a model and do a few armature tests and see which ones work, which ones don't work. But I'd rather just have a mesh I know doesn't work from the get-go. That way I know it's got the problem and where to look for fixing it. But with this information here, I think we're on to something as far as figuring this out, or getting at least one step closer. Now, there is something that does still bother me about the whole damn thing, is if you use inverse kinematics, which I probably have to watch another video on that to understand how to do that again. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head how to do it. I know in the bones, you got to go bones, bendy bones, inverse kinematics. I'm not going to remember. Constraint, inverse kinematics, pick target. Oh, I remember something about it. You have to have a pole object. So, I picked the top bone. Pick the bottom bone. Did that do it? I'm not sure. I mean, I see it did a pole. I mean, I see the pole because it just showed. I see the pole right there. Oh, I remember now. You gotta have a damn duplicate of. I remember. I'm remembering. I think we got to have a duplicate of that bone, and that would be the pole object. But I got it linked wrong. Shit, I mean, damn it, what'd I do? What'd you do, you dumbass? You deleted everything. No. I thought this could be moved. I don't know. I don't know, for some reason I was thinking you could do that in edit mode, but I'm on track. Oh, that's what it is. I gotta know what bone that is. I think that's bone number 1. And now whatever bone, that's probably the last bone. I just got something backwards, that's all. Something ain't right. I'll get it. There we go. I got it now. That's inverse kinematics. It would take me a little while. There isn't a pole target selected though. I forgot exactly what that does. But anyway, this is how you do inverse kinematics. Uh, More or less. But I don't know all the stuff about it. But like if you're making an animation, it's easier to animate with inverse kinematics than it is to animate with regular, I guess, kinematics. Because basically what happens with inverse is a child affects the parent instead of the parent. That's a parent affecting the children, where the children can affect the parents. That's the inverse part. That's what inverse does. It's easier, should be easier to just copy and paste and have the first frame and last frame be the exact same thing, because all you're doing is just replicating that one that one thing that's creating everything, making everything move. You just basically copy and paste on the last frame, and that gives it a smooth thing there. Now, getting this to work without becoming taffy is what seems to be in the problem in the past, at least. So let's see. Let's export this worm with the IK kinematics, whatever, and see how it looks in the game. And immediately, what do we see? We get taffy because it's using inverse kinematics. Why? I damn couldn't tell you. So let's try to fix the problem like we did the first time. Let us go to object mode. Let us pick everything again. Let us once again set the origin to the 3D cursor, which we saw it just go over there, so we know it did it. Apply all transforms, and now let's re-export, and I don't think it's going to work, but no, it didn't work. It's just taffy in a different place, that's all. No, it's not. It actually is working, I guess. It's just the let me look at this again. It's close. I mean, only that animating, that one bone there. I mean, it's only affecting that small area for whatever reason. I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is the rest of this form isn't accounted for as it seems here. This is, you could say, pre-deformed because I've already moved all these things. So I'm wondering if maybe you can now bake the animation and it'll bake all that stuff. And we'll say bake pose, not object. Alright, let's export it. And let's take a look. Okay, it didn't inherit the pre-formed shapes and stuff. So let's bake it as pose. Or that's what I just did, pose. We'll bake it as object. Bake object this time. Well, if you bake an object, it ain't animating anymore. Because the object itself isn't animating. Like, I didn't tell it to go from point A to point B. I'm only messing with the bones. So that didn't do it. It didn't even fix the curvatures and all that stuff. So something else is missing. I'm not sure. Maybe the rest of the bones need to at least move at least just one keyframe, maybe, so that it'll set the rest. Since this one is the only one moving, it's not saving the data for all the others unless there is data created for all the others. I think it'll work now. The more I think about it, I think that's been the problem. Maybe, you know what? Maybe the entire thing needs to be an IK chain for it to work, where the whole thing chain link use tell chain link. There's no links of chains. I'm limiting it to just how many bones is it total? 21 bones. Let's just say 21. Let's see if that has something to do with it as far as exporting. No, nope, that ain't what it. That's not what that is. There's no pole target though. This is what I'm not 100% sure of. What a pole target is. But if I make a duplicate of like another bone, let's see. Let's do one up here at the top. Let's duplicate that one. And let's say that be a pole object. In pose mode. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I had some dependency issues with this apparently. I don't know. I'm just trying a lot of shit. Just hammering it, trial and error. Trying to figure something out. Alright, so now it's being affected by the other bone in addition to that bone. It's just my screwed up hierarchy is just incorrect, that's all. All these got to have. I don't know, let's see. Well, I believe we figured it out. No, that's not correct there. Or if it is, I didn't note. Oh, it is. It is actually twisted there. So inverse kinematics work, apparently. Now the other thing that is still like, okay, well, if inverse kinematics will actually work, if I guess if they're done correctly, which I'm not exactly sure exactly what I did, but if we go to object mode and we tell the or edit mode rather, and we tell this bone, okay, well on this frame, no, that ain't what I did. In pose mode, on this frame, you go here, and on this frame, you go here. Let's see if we can get that to do that. That was the other thing that was causing issues. Well, I'll be damned. I believe we got it right. So IK will work. Well, it's disregard the stuttering. That's just because I got stuff hierarchy wrong, and it's basically what's going on is I didn't set. I know it has something to do with the constraints. There's a limit rotation constraint that you have to, and I'm not sure exactly which one it is I got to assign it to. Maybe each one needs to have a constraint, but it's basically what it's doing is it's rotating like 360 degrees uh, really fast or something like that. I don't know. That's what I'm pretty sure it's something to do with that. I didn't mean to add that twice. I'm trying to add damn limit rotation. Oh. Well, I don't think it's rotating as much as I just think it's got to do with where the, I don't know. Whatever it was, that fixed it. I just had, like I said, the hierarchy was wrong. I had the wrong bones connected, but I'm not really sure what I'm trying to make here. I'm trying so many different things, and I'm trying to figure out what's causing issues. And the whole thing is it will work. Inverse kinematics, animation, all work in the game. It just has something to do apparently with the origin where things are set, and has something to do with well, maybe somebody else has the patience to watch all this and figure it out. But I think I'm done fooling around with this for now.